Alright, hey guys, we're back. Well, to recap real quick, we showed you how to find the overall maximum travel distance of your machine, how to find your halfway on your y-axis, how to measure and find the halfway point of your material, how to use your laser crosshair, okay, to go off the center of your material, to run your laser down the other end of your gantry, only on your y-axis. Do not move it on the x, because basically you are using that laser now as a glorified straight edge, or the chalk line if you would, okay? Well, we ran it down the other end, we make our marks, we draw our straight line, and then we eyeball it, because we do this because it does no good if this material sits in this machine and it's out of level. Because what you're going to end up with is you're going to mount this, I told you in the beginning, this is a headboard, possibly for my darling wife, to her new log bed, and I don't want this headboard level on each side of the log post, but then the engraving is out 5, 10, 15 degrees because it'll look stupid, okay? Get your line, get your slab positioned in your machine, great. You're happy with it, then you block it. We shim it so it can't rock. We screw it, we secure it. Don't allow this piece of material to move on you, okay? Last thing I want to do is see any of you guys get hurt because of something I showed you, okay? I've been doing these now for a good 6 months or so to a year. I've never had an incident with a slab. And trust me, what starts out as a slow process with repetition, this becomes pretty quick. I can get a slab in the machine and set up now in a matter of minutes. Okay. Well, let me step over here. With this being our center, right here, what I did was I took my tape, I came over my 24 inches, and I made a mark. I did the same thing down the other end, 24 inches from my center, I made a mark. Okay? Let me step back out of the way again. Now, what we did, or what I do, is with my laser on, okay, I take my laser, and I'm hoping you guys can see this. I take my laser all the way down to where I made my mark, 24 inches off my center. We did the same thing on the other side, okay? This now produces 48-inch wide area, okay? Now, so long as I don't move, excuse me, I don't move my y-axis, and all I'm going to focus on is my x. After I've made my 24-inch mark, I bring it down. Now your laser crosshair, I'm hoping you guys can see it, okay? My little white chicken hands here. Basically, that crosshair throws two lights, your y-axis and your x-axis. Mark your x down here. Move your laser up, your x-axis to the other side of your gantry. Make another mark. Bring in old Mr. Trusty Speed Square. Carpenter Square, I'm sorry. Connect your lines. There you go. There's your first line. Do the same thing on the other end. Off your center, you've measured 24. I'm not going to pull the gantry up because I'm tired of bouncing back and forth. Okay? You pull your gantry up to your 24-inch mark up here. Okay? Do the same thing. You come down, make a mark, go up, make a mark, take your carpenter square, connect that line. Okay? What you've done now is you've marked each end, your maximum travel that you're going to have for this box. Okay? Now, we bring the laser attached to the router down, and I will bring it down about as close to the lowest corner as I can get it, and then I'll run this all the way across the gantry with the laser on. Now I'm not moving the x-axis now, I'm moving just the y. I'm going to watch that laser. If that laser goes over the edge at any point, then what I've got to do is I've got to bring it up a titch. And I'm going to keep bringing it up, very, very small increments, maybe only 125 thousandths. Because what I do not want to do is I don't want my engraving, once this is done, I don't want the engraving to go off the material. Okay? Now, we'll run our line down. I've obviously done this, and I've created my box. Now what we did, marking a line here, and then drawing it with a straight edge, we do the exact same thing for the y-axis. Just, you know, I've got my big long Swanson, my 72-inch straight edge, so I'll do the same thing here. I'll make a mark off my laser crosshair. I'll run the gantry up, and I'll draw a straight line. I'll do the same thing at the top, all the way back. I'll draw another line. Well, guess what? We just created our box. Okay? I know for a fact this box is 15.5 by 48 inches. Okay? Now, the only thing I can emphasize, and I cannot recommend this strong enough. Once the box is built, we obviously need to plane the material and get it all symmetrical and get it flat so that we can take the next step of engraving. Please, 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 take a straight edge. Excuse me, I don't mean to step in and out. Put your straight edge underneath. Put your straight edge, underneath your gantry and on top of your slab. Now, my center point is right here. However, this is also a low spot. Oh, let me get out of the video here. My center's here. There's a low spot. You may not be able to see it, but it's about 100 thousandths. Okay? There's a slight cup in this material. I come down here. Oh my goodness. Down here, I'm like 300 thousandths. This is my high spot. Right here. Okay? I'm going to mark an X on the highest spot on the material. Although I start and I do all my programs with my datum in my CAD and my VCarve Pro, my datum is always in the center of my material. However, I will touch top at the highest point of this slab, and then I'll just bring the gantry back to 0. This is going to make a couple passes where it's only going to hit the high spots. Do not start on a low, okay? Unless your low is, if you've only got a variance of 30, 40, 50 thousandths, well, you can make that in one swipe. I am not going to attempt to send my router on a low spot and then have it hit a high spot over here that's 300 thousandths above everything else. I'm going to start high and work low. Eventually, everything's gonna touch. Now, the other thing is that we discussed this is non-symmetrical material. Our box is built at 15.5. Well, I've still got another 2 inches of material down here. Our width of 48 is not going to change at all. However, our width is. Now, I want to mill this entire surface flat. All of it. Okay? Well, I'm going to measure my widest point now, and it's saying 21. Okay? I would do, just like I would do for my spoiler board on my physical machine, I'm going to start out with a 21 by 48 inch pocketing toolpath. I'm going to start on my highest point, and I'm little by little going to work this down. Now, I'm not using a massive spoiler board bit like a 3 or a 4 inch like some of you guys do, okay? It's, once again, a startup cost, you grab what you can. I'm using a 1.5, but for this application, it's more than fast enough. This will take a few minutes to zing this down, and in less than 30 minutes, I'm going to have a workable area, ready to take an engrave, okay? Now, depending upon how crazy and how wavy your material is from the sawmill, right where the edge of your line is, you might have a ridge. Over here, I most certainly know I'm going to have one because I'm roughly 350 thousandths low on this side. There will be a ridge from when I mill this down. Well, at that point, what I would do is I will unblock this piece of material. I'll move the end more to the center of the table. I can support the slab hanging off of whichever end of the machine. I'll do the same thing again. I'll find center on my ends. okay? I'll build a box, not for engraving purposes, but now to take and mill this side down level with everything I just took out. Yes. Is this a big extra step? Yes, it is. However, the cost of an industrial planer that can accept super wide material over 20 and 24 inches, the cost of that equipment is exponential, okay? This shop doesn't have it. You're talking well over $10,000 or $15,000 for something of that size, and then two, you got to have the power to run it, which is something else we don't have up here. If you're doing bar tops, or maybe you decide to undertake headboards, if they take off for you in your area, you may want to look into finding a mill or someplace you can take a dozen of these, have them planed for you, then you can bring them home, and this step is alleviated. I don't do enough of these big dollar beds to incorporate that cost yet. So this is how we do it. But I wanted to share this with you, okay, as always. And I hope that this has helped you guys, okay? I'm not going to make you sit through the planing process of this, but I did. I wanted to share this, and I hope that you guys got something out of this. You're only limited by your imagination, and you're only limited by your client's imagination. The next thing that comes in is your own skill set and ability. This is stuff that you learn, you pick up along the way. Again, pay attention to the safety aspect of this. Make sure this material is secure. I don't want to hear about you guys getting hurt, okay? But it really is a fun, building these beds has been fun for me. I'm getting a little more log furniture coming around, and I enjoy it. So we're going to continue to make this stuff, all right? Well, you guys have been great. If you have any questions, please, I want you to feel free to give us a shout. You know our web address, littlewoodshop.com, littlewoodshopblog.com. You can reach my private email through the shop, steve@littlewoodshop.com, okay? And I'll gladly answer any questions you got. Feel free to take this. Take our, take our free scene package. We did, I don't know, 2.5, 3 dozen. Different pieces to put together. We got a tutorial with that and another video. You guys start milling some nice scenes, okay? Well, enjoy. I appreciate you guys, my subscribers, my followers right now. You guys are awesome. And we're hoping to keep more coming. All right, guys. Take care. Happy fall. Enjoy the upcoming holidays. Bye-bye, guys.